Fight scenes are one of the oldest and most popular forms of cinematic spectacle dating back to the silent era of film. They can be influenced by various culture and historical factors, but also frickin' kaijus and space wizards with laser swords. Now, we've seen all these before, folks, but bear with me when I say, have you ever thought of the most underrated fight scene in a movie ever? One that's pretty much forgotten, though it was the Hollywood debut of a martial arts legend. A fight scene that also features one of the most iconic duos in film history, and is one of my favorite scenes in a movie ever.
You wear helmets when you ride your bikes, you have seat belts in your cars, you have alarm systems to protect your homes, but what do you do when those alarms go off? Crazy is building your ark after the flood has already come.
I love this final sequence because I'm a big fan of the West, the Western action film and the Hong Kong action film. This is sort of a clash between the two.
It is. We talked about that. This is the best of the West meets the best of the East.
He's so fast that you can't see him move. I mean, they needed to slow down the camera. I mean, you can't see it. It's just, he's unbelievable.
I make the 25 movies in Hong Kong. This is the first time I played villain. So bad guy.
Oh yes, folks, we're talking about my personal favorite Lethal Weapon movie, 1998's Lethal Weapon 4. Unlike the previous three films, which were based on scripts by Shane Black and Jeffrey Boehm, Lethal Weapon 4 was written by Shannon Gibson, which has no relation to Mel Gibson whatsoever. Shannon Gibson, however, was hired by Warner Brothers after they rejected Boehm's script for a fourth film, which involved a neo-Nazi terrorist plot in Los Angeles, which I'm so happy they passed on.
Hey, what's going on?
Those bums won their court case, so they're marching today.
What bums?
The fucking Nazi party.
Lethal Weapon 4 marked the first Hollywood appearance of Jet Li, who was already a famous martial arts star in China. He played Hua Xing-ku, a ruthless enforcer for a Chinese crime syndicate that smuggles illegal immigrants into the US. Riggs and Murtaugh, played by legendary actors Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, are chasing him when Glover's character tries to shoot Jet Li's coup. He accidentally shoots and kills his brother instead. This all leads into the big fight on the dock. At first, they don't even want to fight him. They in fact talk themselves out of it, and then in the most Riggs and Murtaugh way, they talk themselves back into it.
But this is not gonna happen. I'm gonna be your grandfather. You alone are gonna have a baby. He ain't worth dying for, Riggs. He ain't worth it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he took my gun apart with one deft move. How did he do that? Huh? How?
Yeah? Okay. Let's go ask him.
Jet Li impressed everyone with his skills and speed, and as Rene Russo said at the beginning of the video, he had to slow down his movements so that the camera could capture it even. He also had to tone down his fighting style to make it look more realistic and less flashy, but toning it down made it work a lot better with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover's Western fight style, or as Richard Donner calls it in the commentary, street fighting. The sound effects were done so well for this scene. Each character has a different sound when they swing. More swifter and sleeker sounds for Jet Li, and then Danny Glover, being a massive man at 6'3", sounds like his fists are packing sledgehammers. And then we get classic Crazy Riggs when his shoulder is dislocated and he can't swing a punch. Oh no, both of Riggs' arms are incapacitated. What shall he do? Clearly the bad guy doesn't know Riggs, as his head isn't used for thinking as much as it is more for bashing other people's faces in, even when his arms are working.
Hey, you want to see crazy? I'll tell you.
Ku begins to choke out Riggs, but hey, out of left field, it's Murtaugh with the classic. It's impalement through the stomach, and Ku still kicks him off. This all ends up at the bottom of the ocean where Riggs shoots an AK underwater and kills Ku? Wait, is that even possible? Alexa, can you shoot an AK-47 underwater?
From reference.com, the AK-47 is a rugged piece that functions well after being immersed in mud, sand, or water.
Alrighty. Riggs pulls himself out of the water only for another concrete slab to collapse on him, trapping him underwater. Murtaugh jumps in and saves his partner's life. God damn, I love Danny Glover in this scene. He was arguing before that Riggs was about to have a baby and it's stupid to even fight this guy, and now he's almost angry yelling for him here.
Will me, Riggs, will me. Riggs, you're gonna have a baby, will me. You son of a bitch, God. Will me. Riggs. Riggs. I hear you, Riggs. I hear you. I got you. I'm coming.
This leads into another one of my favorite scenes where Riggs is asking his late wife for a sign of approval to marry Rene Russo's character, and it comes from one of my favorite characters in the franchise, Joe Pesci as Leo Getz, who tells a heartbreaking story about him accidentally killing his pet frog as a boy.
They told me that she left or something, and my father was no bargain, and so just the Froggy, was my friend. I really loved him, and I took him everywhere with me. And I was riding him on my bike one day, and he jumped out of the box, and I ran him over with the back tire. I killed him. I was really heartbroken, really. He was my best friend in the whole world, the only thing I ever loved. And then I met you and Roger. You're not better friends than Froggy. You're just different. And I just thought that maybe that might be relevant.
You sure picked a strange angel, honey. But I got the message. I got the message.
This morning we are remembering a movie director who changed the landscape of American popular culture. Richard Donner's many credits include the 1978 Superman with Christopher Reeve, we remember that one, Lethal Weapon and its sequels, and The Goonies. We're sad to tell you that he died yesterday. He was 91 years old.
And, you know, the man who directed all the Lethal films, here I'm getting stupidly emotional all of a sudden, but he like I worked with him on 6 films, and he passed away. He was developing the screenplay, and he got pretty far along with it. And he said to me one day, he said, "Listen, kid, if I kick the bucket, you'll do it." And I said, "Get the fuck out, shut up," you know. But he said it to his wife, and he said it to the studio, and he said it to the producer. And so now I'm going to direct the 5th one with
After Richard Donner passed away, directing for the 5th movie was passed to Mel Gibson. I would love for this to happen. Not just to see all these classic characters return, but for Donner's last project he worked on before passing away to make it to the big screen. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, and if you want to check out more of my favorite scenes, I have a playlist set up in the description.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Hey, Riggs, who's the perp? What'd you bust him for?
Oh, I'm a perp? Oh, you see a young brother in the back of a police car, automatically I'm a perp? Look at my suit. Look at my tie. What do I look like, the fucking Crips accountant?